CTV News at 6 with Hudson Mack.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. It came in with brute force, whipping across Vancouver Island and onto the south coast today. The wind toppled trees, knocked out power, and put travel to and from Vancouver Island on standby. BC Ferries couldn't sail, schools were closed, they had no power, and more than 100,000 hydro customers at the height of the storm were in the dark. And while tonight the wind has calmed down, the cleanup from the powerful storm is just getting underway. The highest recorded gust today was at Mary Island. That's on the Sunshine Coast near Halfmoon Bay, 187 kilometres an hour. On northern and western Vancouver Island, the gusts were from more than 120 to close to 150 clicks. Slightly less severe elsewhere, but the wind was just as damaging. Trees and power lines and pretty much anything else that wasn't nailed down was no match for the wind. We have full team coverage beginning with CTV's Louise Hartland.
It was a different kind of wake-up call.
You could feel it and hear it. It was a pretty big bang. It was pretty exciting, yeah.
A giant tree swept right out of the ground and onto this home.
This is a big crash, and my dog went a little bit berserk, and I looked out the window, and this tree was sort of sitting on the side of the house, basically.
The wicked wind snapped trees like matchsticks all over the capital region. No one was home this morning when this tree came crashing down in Sydney.
The roof is collapsed, and there's multiple limbs that have poked through different points of the house.
The roof blew clear off the gift shop at the Anacortes ferry terminal. On the water, boats were bobbing and blowing around, all at the mercy of Mother Nature, some ending up beached like logs. And passers-by watched the powerful display in awe.
Oh, good grief, it's wild, isn't it? Okay, nature.
Falling trees also ripped down power lines all over the South Island, closing roads and keeping police on their toes.
Stay away from the lines. Let us know that they're down. We'll get hydro to check them out.
This has certainly been the biggest storm of the season.
This winter storm was so big, BC Hydro says more than 95,000 people on Vancouver Island had no power at its peak.
Unfortunately, we're not going to see everybody restored tonight. If people can imagine, it was a very intense storm, and it's going to take a while for us to get to some areas, some Gulf Islands as an example. We know the road to Zabalas has been closed, so it's going to be a challenge to get to some outlying areas.
And while hydro crews work to restore the power, the cleanup is already underway. A big job sure to keep these crews busy as the final countdown to spring begins. Louise Hartland, CTV News, Saanich.